Wojnarowski. Just moments ago, J.J. Redick will formally interview for the Los Angeles Lakers coaching job this weekend, and a strong performance is expected to move him to the forefront of the franchise's search. That is from Woj on Twitter literally 4 minutes ago, and I'm sure there will be more coming from him. JJ, is a part of our broadcast team. You see him on the NBA Finals here. He'll be doing Game 4 tomorrow night, and then, according to Woj, will interview for the Lakers head coaching job. We all saw what happened with their pursuit recently of Dan Hurley. Went after him, offered him a big contract, weren't able to land him, and so now they move on. Wendy, what can you tell us here? Again, J.J. Redick to interview for the Lakers head coaching job this weekend.
Well, JJ has handled this so well throughout this whole process. He's been extremely disciplined, despite routinely being in media, both with his various podcasts and on national television every couple of nights. He has not allowed himself to be distracted by this. And I also know that he has been preparing for this moment for a long time. He interviewed already this offseason with the Charlotte Hornets for their coaching job, so this will be his second significant interview. This is what we were waiting to see if the Lakers would move on here, because they had done formal in-person interviews with James Borrego, who is a strong candidate to be the Cleveland Cavaliers' next head coach, and with Dan Hurley, who got the first job offer for this. Now is J.J. Redick's turn. Anytime you hire a first-time head coach, you're admitting that you're going to go through a learning curve. But obviously the Lakers have done a lot of research, and frankly, his interviews have been in those podcasts with LeBron James. They've extensively broken down the Lakers' offense, extensively broken down what they do. It's been out there for the whole world to hear, including from the Lakers front office.
We almost lost Wendy there. We almost lost CJ while he was saying that, by the way. What is your thought on all of this?
I think it's very interesting, and I think to Wendy's point, he said that his interviews have essentially been as a part of the podcast.
Right.
He's done a great job of breaking down film, kind of talking about things that he would do, X's and O's. They've literally gone through ATOs. My only question is whether or not the podcast will continue to exist if JJ does get this job, because I'm interested in seeing them talk about games after they happen in which they've coached and played in together.
Look, I want J.J. Redick to win in life. Obviously, that's a former Duke brother. But I just want to set for the record, potentially the greatest player to ever play the game in the last couple of years of his career is going to be coached again by a first-time head coach. That's a lot of pressure, man. That's a lot of pressure to win championships. And we have to talk about Rob Pelinka. We have to talk about Jenny Buss, the ability, roster construction, some of the cap restrictions that you have to go against. That's a big, massive challenge. And if it happens, I wish him the best of luck. I just don't know if that would be the first challenge I would take as my first-time NBA head coach opportunity.
Well, I just hope if JJ is to get this job, the Lakers actually give him some room and some time to overcome challenges, whether it's figuring out how to win with LeBron. And then if LeBron departs, whether that's from retirement or whatever happens, let's say LeBron retires, that's going to be another really difficult adjustment for a head coach to make. And what have we seen from the Lakers? They haven't given coaches very much time at all to figure things out. So you would hope that if JJ gets this opportunity, the offer is at least showing that he's going to have some runway to figure it out.
Ray, that's a little bit of a problem. You're in L.A. It's Lakers town. Like, you don't have time.
But it hasn't worked. Nothing's worked in this sense.
I hear you. That's my point. That's exactly my point. Look at the rundown of all the coaches they've had in the last 15 years. Like, they want to win yesterday.
But they need to change that mindset is all I'm saying, because it's not working. Like, you consistently get new guys in there, and it's not a system that's working right now.
Is it the coach or the players?
Here's the thing that I will say. I don't know JJ nearly as well as you do, obviously, from all your years together.
CJ just said it.
What did he say?
But is it the coach or the players? I think you got to look at the situation that they're in right now, obviously.
What is it? You play against them. We don't. What is it? How good are they? How good can they be?
I think they're a really good team, but I think the West just continues to get better each year. You look at the Memphis Grizzlies, they're going to be better this year. You look at the Spurs, they're going to be better. You look at the New Orleans Pelicans, we're going to be better. All these teams are continuing to get better, and we all have continuity because a lot of these teams are having the same coaches. Every time you hire a new coach, it's a new system, it's new schemes, it's a new training camp, it's a new style play, probably staying at different hotels. There's a lot of things that change and shift when you don't have continuity, and they continue to change, and it's like a revolving door with them, and they expect greatness right away, and you're letting quality coaches go consistently, and I think that's another issue they have to kind of figure out. But JJ's going to be great, regardless if he takes that job or not. And I think what they have to figure out is the roster, like most of our teams, and our team included. You have to figure out your roster first. Who you're going to put on the floor, and how you're going to compete at a high level. And then your coach can kind of put things together.
I'll get Windy back in here. We got his signal back, and he has more that he can add. Go ahead, Windman.
Well, if I was JJ Redick, I'd start by asking for 6 years and $70 million if they're going to offer me the job, because that's what they offered Dan Hurley. I'll just say one brutally honest fact about the Lakers. This is just a fact. They've finished in the top 7 in the Western Conference one time in 12 years. Once. And so I would say that if whoever you hire, I don't care if you hire Red Auerbach, the next year, the challenge is going to be to them getting that top 7. They finish 6th next year. They will have done a good job. I don't care who their coach is. And CJ is absolutely right. The teams behind them are gaining fast. I'll add the Houston Rockets to that list. And the teams in front of them aren't getting worse. New Orleans Pelicans aren't getting worse, for example. So it's a very demanding job. And it's one of the reasons why, it's hard to make this hire, because there's not a lot of great candidates out there. And so what you have to do here, and what the Lakers are doing, is they're looking for high risk, high reward. Dan Hurley was a high risk, high reward discussion. JJ Redick would be a high risk, high reward situation. And I think everybody needs to understand that, including the Laker fans, who are not known for their patience.
Here's what I want to say about this. I don't know JJ Redick nearly as well as you do. Of course, he's worked here for a while. I've gotten to know him a little bit, both inside and outside the building. You've known him forever. But anyone who's ever spent more than 5 consecutive minutes with him, the first thought you have is immediately, this is a really smart guy. He is also a person who, unlike many other lifer kind of coaches, will have unlimited opportunities in his life to do whatever he wants in media, in coaching, and in whatever else he wants. So there is no question in my mind he will have thought through all of the potential pitfalls of this. If he decides to do this, he will be well aware of everything Windy just pointed out, you pointed out, you pointed out, you pointed out, and I might point out. He can weigh that against, I don't need this job. JJ Redick can be just fine in his life, continuing to do all of his media stuff and wait out another opportunity if one feels better. So to me, if he winds up taking this, what I would read from that is that he sees perhaps something we don't, a path to getting this team over the top more quickly. Whether we see it or not, I don't think he'll take it without. That's just my guess, because the sort of setting yourself up to be another name on that graphic at some point really soon, that's not JJ. I don't see JJ Redick putting himself in that position.
You think every other coach put themselves in that position?
Most of those coaches don't have any other options. In life,
okay,
you have...
That's fair. That's fair.
If you're... this is no disrespect to any of the people we're talking about. Those guys are lifers. Those guys are coaches. They're going to coach wherever they get the opportunity. They didn't make $100 million playing the game. They're not right now the lead broadcaster on the #1 broadcast team at the network. JJ Redick has unlimited options. It's like he's sitting down in a restaurant and the menu has everything in the world on it. So the Lakers may be the special of the day, right? Someone's bringing over, here's our special today. It's got LeBron James. It's got a little sprinkle of Anthony Davis. It's got, this is the background. These are the options. And then
you say, sprinkle of Anthony.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it.
I know what you meant.
You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, he can choose, oh, that sounds really good. I can make that work, or I can pass on